house is one of those tricky issues when it comes to any kind of asset protection, because we get a lot of tax benefits when it comes to having ownership in a residence, such as mortgage interest deductions. You also get capital gains exclusions. There could be some credits associated with things like putting solar panels on the property and some other deductions for property taxes. So there's a whole host of tax benefits associated with owning a residence. So sometimes when you're speaking with people about trying to protect their assets, and specifically their most intimate of assets, their residence, they are familiar with the uses of limited partnerships and LLCs and various forms of corporations. They say, well, can I put my property inside an LLC? And typically the answer is no. And the reason being is because you're changing the nature of the property from a residential characteristic to a potential investment property characteristic. And then you would lose those benefits of home ownership, such as the mortgage deductions, capital gains exclusions, et cetera, et cetera. So one thing that we turn to, again, are trusts. And trusts also have a very unique characteristic on what's called a grantor trust. And a grantor trust basically does not exist for tax purposes, but it can exist legally, for example, for estate planning purposes. And one such trust, which is uniquely designed to hold residences, is called a qualified personal residence trust, called a QPRT. And I like to give the example here of holding up a glass. This is an example of a QPRT, Qualified Personal Residence Trust, and here is your house. So the benefits of having a property, again, you get all those personal benefits on your 1040, all the tax benefits. And so, but you want to retain that, but by putting it inside a special trust, the trust is a glass, so the IRS still sees you, the individual, for purposes of tax reportings. But when you take the property out of your name and you put it inside this residence trust, for purposes of taxation, the IRS still looks to you and everything flows through to your personal 1040s. But for purposes of asset protection, you actually transferred ownership. You no longer personally own the property. It's now owned by an irrevocable trust, this qualified personal residence trust. And as a result, a creditor cannot grab that property. It has inherent asset protection because what you retained was not the property itself. What you retained was the present right to live in the property tax-free for a certain number of years. And those years are pretty much determined by the age of the grantor and also the value of the property, fair market value, net of liabilities. And that's being done for determine what the value of the present gift. This is actually a gift. Transferring the property into a trust results in a gift. So you want to find out what that value is. There are certain calculations that we do. But the nice thing about the QPRT is that you still retain all the benefits of home ownership. You still retain all the tax benefits in this grantor trust. But because it's the irrevocable trust, we as asset protection attorneys get to double up. And now we get to have an asset protection environment over one of our most intimate assets without losing its characterization as a residence. So it's kind of a double dipper. You're getting both estate tax benefits as well as asset protection benefits. So if you have a property that has a lot of equity in it and you're concerned about how do we protect it, a QPRT is one of a handful of tools that we use where we're able to kind of balance both the estate planning benefits as well as the tax planning benefits. So if you're interested, please give me a call. My name is Brad Barth. I'm a partner here at BarthCalderon, where we plan today for all of your tomorrows. Thanks for your attention. Bye-bye.